Coming to get you, Bobber.
Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. I'm finally doing a review for Nope. Unfortunately for us in the UK, and I think a couple of countries around the world, we didn't get Nope till a couple of weeks after it came out in the US. And because it's such an important movie, because it is a big movie by Jordan Peele, it's one of those movies where you want to go in as blind as possible, because obviously Get Out had a little bit of a twist in it. More psychological twist than an actual twist, and obviously Us had a big twist at the end of the movie. So because those two movies had things that you just don't want to get spoiled for you, you want to go into Nope the exact same way. And even if it did come out early, like you guys in the US, yourself, you still want to go in it semi-blind. I know that the trailers kind of gave a lot away, but in this movie, and there is going to be spoilers in this of course, in the movie itself, it's not about the spoilers. There's no big grand twist at the end of Nope. It felt more subtle, sort of like Get Out. It's more of a psychological twist, because there's more to the movie than just finding out is it an alien or not. There's more to it than that. It's more psychological. I'm going to try and explain my version of how I saw the movie, of how I see the movie being interpreted to me. Now, it is a Jordan Peele movie after all, so the way I explain it to you guys and the way I see it might be different to the way somebody else sees it. So there's probably no right answer, but I'm just going to explain the way I saw the movie, how I took it, and how I felt about it. When you see the trailer for the film, it kind of portrays the two main characters, the brother and the sister, as these down-to-earth, easygoing siblings who lost a father because of some sort of storm. Things were falling from the sky and they don't know what it was. A coin went into their dad's eye and killed him almost instantly, and then the movie picks up from there. They want to find out what it was, and quickly the brother finds out that there's something in the sky, and he thinks it's a UFO, as most people would, and he wants to catch it on film. That's the basic premise of the movie, but as the movie unfolds, we found out more about not only how his dad died, but what it is that's in the sky. Because it is a Jordan Peele movie, we're trying to, or me personally, I'm trying to find out what the twist is going to be, and that was probably the wrong mindset, because that was part of my disappointment for the movie, trying to figure out what this grand twist was going to be, and there never was a grand twist. From the trailers we thought, is there something to do with the horses? Because when you see the trailer, we find out that their great grandfather was the first black man to be filmed on a horse. They own the ranch for Hollywood, making stunts for horses and movies, etc. There's just something about the horses and the people that we thought maybe the UFOs were going to come down and mix them together. There's a woman sitting in the stands that looked like an alien with her face. I think we all thought that she was going to be some sort of alien being that was hiding in amongst the humans. That wasn't the case, and I will get to that in a couple of minutes. But the twist itself never came. The only twist, you could call it, was the UFO spaceship wasn't a UFO spaceship. It was actually the alien itself. And if Jordan Peele wanted us to think that that was the grand plan and that was the grand twist, then fair enough. But I didn't see that as a big enough twist. As soon as I found out that wasn't a ship and it was the alien itself, I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, that's not a twist. So, but when I found out that that was it, I was like, alright, okay. So when it comes to twists for movies, if it was supposed to be a movie that had a twist, then it was very disappointing. But I didn't see that as the twist. I saw the movie as not having a twist, or at least a major twist, and that's what we'll get into next. So there was two other parts to this movie that maybe I wasn't disappointed in, but I was questioning. You've got this brother and sister who seem like decent people. They seem like really lovely people, in fact. You know, the sister's outgoing and very, she speaks all the time, whereas the brother is more down to earth, more reserved, doesn't do a lot of speaking, doesn't like to get in front of the camera. So they're two opposite people, but they are brother and sister, and when they're together, they've got chemistry and they love each other. And that's nice. I mean, they seem like nice people, but when you strip the story back itself, they're not really that interested in how their father died. We kind of know how he died, because anytime this alien being takes things up into the sky and eats the people, it doesn't eat inanimate objects, is that what you call them? It doesn't eat objects, so they all fall to the sky. So like billboards and metal, keys, money, etc. And that's what obviously falls to the sky. But the things fall really fast and hard, almost magnetic like, but there's no explanation. We just have to accept that they fall from the sky, and that's what killed his dad. It's almost like they kind of skip past that. They don't really want to know what killed their dad now. What they want to do is be the first people to catch whatever this is on film, so they can become rich and famous. And I found it disappointing that that's what the brother wanted to do as well, because he was supposed to be this reserved, laid back guy who doesn't really want the fame, maybe the money, but the fame and money, fame's going to come with the money, catching this UFO. So it's almost like they both wanted to be rich and famous, just like the people they brought on board. I felt like the little guy, Angel, that worked in the shop, had more morals about him than the brother and sister. Obviously the biggest idiot of them all was the videographer guy who came in later on. I can see his point, because it made it look like he was dying in the movie. He was taking pills, so it seems like he didn't have long to live. So he had a reason to do it, but he still was a little bit selfish in the end. So these are the four main characters, but I couldn't get behind any of them. The only one I would suggest getting behind for me was Angel, because yes, he's probably in it for the money, but he had his character was more come to me, you could get with him more, because he was the same all the way through the movie. Whereas the brother and sister, they were more about family at the start, and then at the end they were more about, I want to catch this so we can be rich and famous. But then you get a little bit of moment at the end with the brother and sister when they both defeat this UFO, this alien. They look at each other like they know that they've defeated it, because they're a tight family. So that was nice to see, but it was family dynamic, it was all over the place. Now on to the most important part for me, and probably the main structure of why this movie was made. And again, this is just my interpretation of the movie as a whole. You've got this side plot, but to me, the side plot was more the main focus of the movie. And that was, you've got, I'm going to say Glenn from The Walking Dead, Stephen Yeun. He's this, he's called Jupe in this film. He's not the main focus of the movie, but you have to pay attention to his character, because when he was younger, back in 1998, he was on this TV show. He was he was just a kid actor, and he was on this show, can't remember the name of the show, but it had is it called Gordy's something? But anyway, there's this monkey called Gordy who's on the TV show with him, and Gordy flips out on stage and kills almost everyone that's on the stage on one of the live audience recordings. And there's only two survivors, and that is Jupe and his character actor Big Sister, who were on the show. Now, I'll start with the Big Sister. She survives, but she gets her face ripped off by Gordy, and that is the lady that you see in the crowd. So as soon as you find out that she's the lady in the crowd, and her face is like that because of the monkey, you can kind of forget humans and aliens living amongst each other, because she's just a deformed lady because of what happened in 1998. That was a kind of throwaway thing. They never really went back to that. Don't know why they did that, but they did it anyway. And then when you go back to Jupe himself, he's more of a deeper character than we thought, because he survived this horrific ordeal, but he's lived on with his life. Now, there is a moment back in 98 where he's under the table, he's scared, everyone's been killed by this crazy monkey, but then he looks the monkey in the eye, the monkey sees him, and they do a sort of almost like a fist bump before the monkey's shot by the animal control or the police. But Jupe has this moment in his eyes, and you can see it in the movie, where he feels like he's superior to everyone in that room because Gordy decided that he wasn't going to kill Jupe. Jupe almost felt like he had control over Gordy that no one else had. So he had that power at a young age, or at least he believed he had that power at a young age. Now you can see that Jordan Peele wanted us to see that transcended all the way through to adulthood, because you see Jupe having that moment as an adult, remembering what happened between him and Gordy, and he's almost like remembering it in a good way. He was smiling as he was remembering it before he's about to do a show, which we'll go on to. He remembers it like he feels like he can do something that no other adult or anyone can do. He can almost control and harness something that's not human. Now, Jupe himself, he knows there's something going on around the area that they're living in. So you've got, on one hand, you've got this brother and sister that are trying to catch it on camera, trying to make money, but then you've got Jupe, who's got this deeper, higher purpose. He thinks he can possibly control or speak to whatever it is in the sky because of his experiences in the past with Gordy. So he has this show with his screen sister up in the show, and he's going to try and speak to or do something with this alien being in the sky. He's been trying to catch it for 6 months, like he says, so he wants to put on a show. He is a showman after all. And then he sees it in the sky thinking, okay, this is it and this is it, and obviously it's not it. Everyone, including Jupe, gets sucked up and they all die. And I feel like that's a more deeper part of this storytelling, that you can be influenced as a kid. You can think you've got this power over people or animals or beings because of an experience, just one experience that you had as a kid, and you take it to adulthood. When I watched that whole part, I understood it and I thought that's quite deep, and that was more interesting to me than the main focus of the story. So when I look at this film, I don't see it as this sci-fi horror or anything that is maybe being portrayed to be. I see it more along the lines of Get Out, this more psychological movie, the mind of the human race, the mind of a person. That's more how I see the movie. And when you look at the brother and sister, yes, you've got that psychological thing about them, because are they doing this to catch an alien, or are they doing this to get revenge for their dad, which they do, or are they doing it just to make money? That's the questions that you ask yourself when you're watching the movie. And that's what's good about Jordan Peele movies, because you peel back the onion and you get all different answers, you get all different explanations and all different opinions on his movies. The same happened with Get Out, and the same happened with Us. But my problem with Nope was there was maybe too many aspects, too many characters that you think you should latch on, that you don't quite know who to latch on. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, it is a good movie and a very really well directed movie. It's probably the worst of the three, but being the worst of the three movies is not a bad thing, because Get Out and Us were fantastic films. I just think Nope didn't live up to the hype, and it didn't live up to Jordan Peele's directing that he's done before. So in that aspect, it's a bit of a disappointment, but I still liked the movie. I didn't love it. I won't watch it for a while, but I think he maybe tried too much. He tried to be too grand, and he failed, unfortunately. So what do you guys think? Do you think I'm maybe looking into it too much? Did you even focus on Jupe's side of the story? As always, guys, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know if you have any theories, or if you agree with my theory, anything like that. Leave it down below and we can talk soon. As always, thanks a lot for subscribing, and see you soon. Bye bye.